Welcome, one and all and any who happen to show up. Uh, this is kind of a relaunch for me, streaming wise. It's been quite a while since I've done any streams, and I thought it would be a good opportunity to do sort of a soft relaunch for things. Man, I can tell I'm super quiet. I'm not sure how to fix that. Either way, so I wanted to start off by saying welcome to the Vallichor channel. For those who might have noticed, it is a misspelling of a word. I had it on top of my mind. Of course, it's gone. Hold on. Vallichor. I have misspelt mine. Instead of an I, it's supposed to be spelled with an A. It is a term used. Well, apparently, someone bought the name or is using the name as a company. No, I want the definition. Strange, wistful, nostalgic feeling that you get inside bookstores. Specifically, just bookstores. Maybe even the ones that have a small cafe, but. Whoa! No, I have the correct spelling. I was wrong the whole time. Wow, look at me go. Either way, I would like to say it is the basis for what I'm going for with this channel. Something that is comforting and strange and fantastic. And on that note, I would like to kind of take this opportunity and start cataloging and discussing openly with the community this project I've been working on for the last 10 years or so. To call it Aetheris currently. That's my going name for the project as a whole. This project started out as a single character for some kind of fandom that I had joined way back when I was young. And I wanted to make it unique. And it's come a long way since then. Well, personally, it's come a long way since then. And I don't want to keep working in a vacuum. So I want to make sure everything is. I want to share this with people. I am really excited to share this with some people. And to start, I think. Let's see, where can we start? I have quite a few things I could. I could start out alphabetically with random series of terms. Or I could kind of start maybe historically. Yeah, I think I'll do that. Let me see. Where's my thing here? Thing. Here we go. So start with the probably most important being in this setting. Their name is Stratia. They are a divine, primordial like being, and they are the conscious living form of the universe, of the fabric of space and time. So, I say she. I use she a lot to reference this character. Stratia typically takes on the guise of a more feminine figure, and in most societies within Aetheris, she is referred to as the Star Mother. She has a very motherly personality and demeanor about herself, which is why I use those terms. And plus, a lot of other, you know, largely recognized pantheons typically have some sort of motherly figure within them. It's always good. Um, right. Stratia is the physical embodiment of space-time, the fabric of, you know, the universe and things. He was the first true character I developed. And to explain this like this, I think I know where to go from here. She is an outlier type character on purpose. Think of her kind of like Saitama, not in the sense that she's powerful because she's powerful and is powerful always, more in the sense of the she is just an alien existence and always will be. And to cement that sort of background, well, I guess I did develop a background for it. He originally comes from a separate universe known as the Aetherian universe. That is why I use this Aetheris title for the current quote universe. It's kind of like an homage to her dead universe that she claimed over. And I guess I'll get to that in a minute. But anyways, her original universe was like any other, just like a infinite expanse of nothing but chaos and energy, to which eventually two existences coalesced. Love, hate, or life and death, whichever you would prefer to see them as. From them, they produced the old gods, known as day, night, and twilight. And those old gods, after working together with the, what did I call them? The Archons, I believe it was. They built worlds and stars and put things together, made light and brought darkness. And eventually the old gods wanted to make things of their own, in their own image, just as the Archons did. So they petitioned the Archons and were granted permission, and they came together and made Stratia, the, physical embodiment of space and time, so that things can progress and have a place to be, as well as her sibling brother, Matil, the god of matter, of the physical world. However, as all good characters have, tragedy strikes, and due to the unique order of operations of existence, going from emotion to physical instead of physical to emotion, the chaotic energies of the universe couldn't withstand the change, and the universe began to collapse on itself. This was right after Stratia and Matil's full formation. Much like trying to, twist a beam in two different directions. Eventually it's going to twist. And if you twist it too hard, with too much force, it can snap. So, sensing this unyielding tension within the fabric of what was now herself, the universe, she sought to escape that annihilation. And to do so, she attempted to escape into the multiverse, and was successful in doing so. But the price of that caused a permanent ripple throughout the multiverse that occasionally cause interuniversal connections known as rifts. These rifts, the rift is what she traveled through and found herself in the universe that would come to be called Aetheris. At the same time, her brother, Matil, managed to flee with her. However, due to the non-existence of time in between universes, he arrived before she did. And the tension of traveling between physical representations of existence sundered his physical form, leaving him just as a coalesced spirit, effectively. So when he arrived, he found himself in a strange universe with strange other entities. Of course, he could sense them as a being akin to a primordial. He could sense other powerful entities who had similar abilities to manipulate the fabric of existence, much like he could. So to protect himself, he pulled matter around him and formed a shell in the form of a planet that would later become known as Zamar. Then, sometime later, because time is weird and I don't have to keep track of that distant past, Stratia arrives and finds herself in a universe in total ruin and chaos. Aetheris started much like her own, an infinite sea of nothing chaos, but in Aetheris, the process of forming things went better until something broke, as any good evil does. One of the primordial entities of Aetheris, known as Starlight, became jealous of the creations of its kin, because all it could do was spread light and make things seen. At least that's how he felt. But this jealousy happened to be the perfect seed for chaos. Chaos is simply nothingness. It is an undoing. And Starlight sought to undo all. If he couldn't have things of his own, if he couldn't touch, but it could only see, then none others could. So he started to attack his kith and kin and absorb their domains within himself, further driving him mad with power and just madness in general. And alongside him, the primordial being of darkness, known as Jalnel, sought to enclose everything in permanent darkness. Very similar were their goals. And Jalnel is a very persuasive entity and managed to work with Starlight, to take down and kill almost all of the primordials. And when Stratia arrived, they were in the process of unraveling what remained of existence. Immediately, she fought back, of course, because she is existence. She is the fabric of space-time. So if there's nothing of existence left, she couldn't exist here either. So she had to fight. They fought for unknown lengths of time, and their clashes were so powerful, they tore apart time and space, separating the age of creation from the rest of time, effectively. Eventually, Stratia gained the upper hand and managed to tear him asunder into pieces, because beings of that power, of course, cannot just be destroyed. They embody realities of existence. If they are destroyed, existence is destroyed. They must be redistributed. refocused, fixed where they have fallen. So she destroyed his physical form, trapping his spirit into those minute grains and spread them across what was left. Then she gathered all that was left and formed the galactic triad. A trigalactic cluster is all that remained. 3 spiral galaxies orbiting a singular black hole. She also formed what's known as the Great Cosmic Pillars, a complex construction made to harness ambient energy of existence itself and encase the galactic triad in a protective bubble. He also created 5 entities known as the Archangels and infused them with primordial power and set them to guard the universe while she rested. Thus closes the Age of Creation and begins the Aether Age. Aether. It's in the name Aetheris. Yes, it's a thing. It is very important within Aetheris, but it is also just a name. It is a power, but it is everything and nothing at all, which is the hardest to explain about it. Aether simply is, where chaos is not. And these are the 2 rival forces within my universe. Now, I'm sure that was a lot to cover, but I'm not sure where to go from here on keeping these notes. Talked about the whole thing and didn't write shit down. Do that after this. Let's see. Let's make a file here. I talked about a whole bunch of stuff there, but that is all just kind of story. There's nothing of substance to most of that, and there won't be for a while. Just know that Stratia is basically the guardian of existence. She wants things to exist because they make up her. So if existence flourishes, she does. So she seeks to guard against the forces that would destroy existence and make the universe back into nothing and chaos. And in order to do that, she utilizes a, quote, material called Aether. Aether, let's see. Aether is. That's a true factual statement. Aether composes everything. absolutely everything. All energy, all physical matter, thought, air, fire, electricity. It's all different expressions of aether. Aether, why not get capitalized? Aether composes all things. Damn, not used to typing. Energy. Right. So, this is a very simple explanation of what aether is. To go more complex, aether is the this is really hard to explain. Subaxiomic. Get to this term axiom in a minute. Aether is a subaxiomic fabric patterns a really tough way of explaining it, but yeah. Let's see. Let's go. Why do you gotta be like that? Did I spell that wrong? Oh, I did. Oops. Aether is. Let's see. Yep. The all things. Will it is. Yes. At the very outer boundary of existence, the furthest, most upper level of things is the aether wall. It is the boundary that encompasses the universe and protects it from the multiversal chaos. Within it, time can exist. Within it, things can exist. Existence becomes if it has a way to become something. The aether wall is a solid to any sense of the term. It is such a physical thing, not even Stratia can penetrate it without expending an enormous amount of effort and energy. However, she can still interact with it because it is infinite potential to be things. Damn. Yeah, there it goes. Stratia is able to collect raw ether directly from the ether wall. It to become something. Now, let's see. Gonna add some link stuff here because I'm using this app called Obsidian, and I'll be able to do some internal linking. So that's going to be its own document. We'll talk about axioms in a minute. Stratia will also be her own document because she is a very important individual. The Aether Wall is also an important document. That, like I said, is the outermost boundary of existence. It appears to anyone who can perceive it basically like a massive wall of rippling crystal, opalescent colors shining through it, and the surface kind of changes and warps over time. Stratia takes this aether and primes it to become something within the universe. He does so kind of in a way similar to the methods of like solid, liquid, gas. She, quote, melts the aether. She works it until it becomes not so rigid. She gives it some oomph so that it can move and become something. Then it can be. And it has the ability to be. And now that it exists within time, it will be. But we can do some of these other things. The Aether Wall. We'll go ahead and see what's going on. Supposed to be two. No, man, I don't know how the hell I'd do this stuff in any other time. That's what it is. Hold on. This one. Oh, so now it looks like that. Ta-da! Okay, we'll add a new note for Shratia. Easy enough. And axioms. Boom. Yay! Easy enough. Ta and da. So, we will go to the Aether Wall, because I explained what this is. The outermost boundary of distance that will protect everything within so chaos beyond. The divine effort. Right. Oh, spelled that wrong. Yeah, I did. And that one again. Da rifts. Rifts. What are rifts? Is harness. Gotcha. I think that's where I can end that. I mean, oh, I see what I did wrong. Coming. Axioms. So, atoms. Yes, that's what these are. These are simply just atoms. It's the term I use. Why? Well, I want an analog for things that I understand. And I understand matter in physics to enough of a degree. So why not make this work like this? Axioms are the smallest observable form physical existence. I did it again. I always think it's an A. It's an E. Existence. They are atoms. So, you can grind them down, but you can't get smaller. Except you can, because there are subaxiomics. I've incorporated quantum mechanics. Composed of, let's see, properly reference my own and bulking information. So, My shit's so unorganized. It's the one. Yes, I think so. Da, 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 da. Mm. So, dang it. Say it one way and then remember later I spelt it a different way. But axioms are composed of subaxiomic resonance. As noted before with Aether, it is a subaxiomic infinite fabric. It stretches in all directions, connects between all other points of, quote, Aether, which are axioms, like an axis. Axioms are basically knots of, waves in this fabric that were strong enough to stay knots and become something, an atom, an axiom, a thing, the smallest thing. I had my own terms for these too. Magic. Where is that information at? Because there are, in current quantum and subatomic understanding, subatomic particles like bosons and leptons and stuff that, when put together, make, neutrons and protons. An electron is a type of subatomic particle in that way. Protons have like two bosons in them or something like that. Anyways, that's kind of where I'm going with this. Imagine all of existence as a string of, well, actually, hold on. I could show you this. It's already happening. The strings are connecting, and it's the vibrations of these axioms where these strings connect and collide that they become something, right? So existence is just vibrational patterns in this infinite expanse of fabric of energy and fabric and potential. So go from here then. Let me see. Yes, that is the correct statement. She is from a different universe, thus, she is not a normal god. Is within the realm known. It's the etheric forge? Ethereal forge. Ethereal, yeah, forge. Um, Did I do it again? I think I did it again. Yeah. Look at me go. Okay. Here we go. Let's see. Mother. Right. Do here. We get a new note, and we can do Starlight. So I can talk about Starlight. I feel like I spelled that wrong. Jealousy. Yeah, I knew it. Primordials are an interesting race. They don't really exist much anymore. We'll get to that. Because of Starlight. Let's see. Blah blah blah. again. Shit. This really sucks for me. Give me my unlight. So, as a primordial god of light, how does light get twisted by chaos to become uh you know, chaotic? How does it come to destroy things through for the forces of chaos? Well, it's like a twisted inversion of normal light called unlight. Let's see how I have this so now the think ooh, almost up over primordials. So is twisted able kind of a weird way of describing it, but that is what it is. It's kind of a grayish, fuzzy looking light. It's hard to look at. If it comes into contact with anything, it starts to blow them up from the inside, effectively. It's like taking a big rubber band and twisting it between a couple sticks really, really tight, and then just letting it go. That is basically what unlight does to axioms. Tears it apart from the inside, so they can't exist anymore. That is one of his primary methods of spreading chaos. And alongside him, oh my gosh, my dog is barking. No. Hold on. I will be. Hold on. And I grabbed myself a snack while I was out there. Don't blame me, I'm hungry. Anyways, alongside Starlight, there were other primordials. Right, so we'll go. Beings. So these three are, I guess you could say, the last of what remains primordial race. I'll get around to who Xeroxis is later. Not super important right now. But alongside Jalnel, or alongside Starlight, was Jalnel, where Starlight is the primordial god of light, Jalnel is the primordial god of darkness. That's just dark. Did I lowercase Starlight's light? I did. So these are fundamental forces of existence, too. At least they are considered fundamental. They are spiritual elements because they tend to attack and interact most cleanly with the soul and the spirit of a being. They're also like intangible forces, light and darkness are. So, dark. Father of demons. He created the first demons out of pure darkness, infused them with his malice for things, and the only reason he's working with the god of light is because he was twisted into the god of unlight. Both seek a dark end. Jalnel, like I mentioned earlier, is a talker. He uses corruption of a person's mind and will to gain his power. Yeah, dude, it's going ham on the cables back there. So do demons. They're important entities as well. Of course, much like other uh, expansive universes, demons are not devils. Demons are pure dark entities. Devils are corrupted, evil entities. There's a slight difference. Devils want to be. They want to exist. They are, you know, highly narcissistic and full of themselves. They crave the power. They want to be powerful, and the only way they can is if they exist. Demons just want to tear everything apart into nothingness. It's dark and corruption. What other small little bits can we drop in here? The elements. I do elements. Elements are specific repeating patterns within the fabric that are non-axioms and not subaxiomic. It's like the full visual spectrum, where it goes from like blue to red. It's black to white, or I guess it would be darkness, and it goes from darkness to earth, fire, water, air, light. The two outers are spiritual elements, while the five inners are the physical elements. The physical elements have primordial gods associated with them. I don't have names for these entities, nor will I think I ever, because they don't really exist anymore. During the collapse, basically, or not collapse, when Starlight began to slay his brethren and absorb their domains and gain power, the five primordials of physical elements sacrificed their physical forms to basically build nearly permanent bonds of their element into the universe. They became the primordial elemental planes. It separated the universe into layers, conceptual layers, and existential layers that impeded Starlight's absolute control. So I don't have actual names for these entities because they are now the planes themselves. Jalnel, being the god of darkness, has quite a bit of sway over spiritual darkness and how it is represented within the universe. So does Starlight with light. If it wasn't for the twisted corruption of Unlight and the shattered scattering of his form. Without a single conscious mind, it can't exactly manipulate its abilities like it used to. So the universe then, now has 5 layers to it, kind of interacting with each other. The primordial planes and base reality. These interactions cause the formation of dragons. Dragons? Because dragons are cool. Fuck you. That's why. So, you do this. Dragon. Formed from the interaction between wing. So you can have fire dragons, air dragons, earth dragons, but also they have secondary interactions between the two. You can't just have these separated with a big wall. They shift. It's not, segmented. It's a spectrum because it's wave interactions and wave propagations, and no two combinations of infinite combinations of waves are going to be the same. So you take like earth and fire, and if you mix them together, you get lava, which are secondary physical elements. Lava. Then we got fire and water, which would make steam. And then water and air, which would make ice. Fire and air. Fire? I don't know. What's fire and air? More fire? I actually have a specific thing, a whole list. Where'd it go? Right. The direction of combination matters. Why? Because I want more diversity. I use magma instead of lava, which I think is a better word. That is the interaction of fire on Earth. The interaction of Earth on fire is ash. The interaction of water on Earth is silt, and earth to water is mud. The first gives you the base of what it is, earth. Wet earth is muddy. But if it's already got water and you start adding earth, then you're spreading it out through the flow. It's making it silt. These are the processes of how interactions go with secondary elements. So then we got ice, and then water on air is mist. It's not the same as steam. Mist is a cold, steam is a hot. That's why they go with fire and air. Steam is fire, mist is air. I believe that's all of them. But there is also tertiary and further. But, you start getting what? If direction matters and there can't be unique ones, a lot. I don't want to have to go through that right now. The elemental planes. That's a good one to go to. Hooray! Something's written down. Right. So, I think I'm gonna stop here with this. And probably plan something out better for next time. I will expand on all of these. We'll do some organization next time. And hopefully I can get some comments too. We can get some stuff written down and have some fun with it. But anyways, thanks you for all dropping in, and I will see you next time.